Hi, Saints. Welcome back to Monday Mentor. As always, it is my privilege to be with you. I wanted to take our time today that I know is precious that you would give me an opportunity to share for a few minutes in your life. I want to take a little time to suggest to you a simple way to change the world. One of the things that I have learned over the years, theologically, if you'll permit me to just walk down a theological path for a moment, is that the church is not called to live oppositionally, it's called to live incarnationally. So much of our current reality is in opposition. It is against those. And Jesus, the incarnation, he is the incarnation. He is what has transformed our world and our planet forever. Through the cross, the death, burial, and resurrection, our lives are forever changed. And so you and I have received the incarnation of Jesus, and that has changed us. And so we are called to live incarnationally then, as Paul says in Galatians 2, that it's not I who live, but Christ who lives in me. What that means is that I'm not really called to live as much for God as I am to allow God to live in me, and Christ then lives in me and through me for you and for our world. And so it is an empowered life. I live in his glory, in his manifest presence. And the more that I do that, I discover delight, so that I don't have a worship moment on a Sunday or a Saturday night at a church service. Hopefully I worship. Hopefully I join the community and do that. But I live a life of his glory and his presence. And I live the celebrated moments of his manifest glory in my day-to-day, and then coming together with the saints to be able to express with explosive joy and delight to be able to gather and to sing, however our gatherings might be right now, online or in person. And so I want to suggest to you a way that you and I might live incarnationally that would transform our world. And you've heard me talk about the reverse golden rule. And of course, there's the passage in 2 Corinthians 1 that the comfort we received, we give. And so I want to suggest to you a way that you and I might live in his glory on a daily basis, enjoying his presence and having that joy become a part of our lives, so that we become this attractive people. As Gandhi said in indictment of missionaries in India, that many will endure the thorns of a rose to smell its fragrance. And he was suggesting to the missionaries that there wasn't a lot of response because they didn't have a beautiful fragrance. And so the more fragrant, the aroma of Christ that you and I have, the evangelistical possibilities with that are enormous as we not only declare his truth, but we live in his truth. Because there's a difference that can be made or said, and maybe I'll make a Monday Mentor on this down the future, that you and I can lean on the truth of God's word without living in the truth. And I'm not referring salvifically, that we can have the principles of truth without walking in the truth. And I'm learning in this season of my life more and more to walk in the truth. It's not I who live, but Christ who lives in me. So we have suggested with the golden rule that you write down 5 things that you want someone to do to you. And this would be your philosophy of ministry, pastor, leader. It would be the way that you parent, live life. And some of us, I wrote these out when I was 22 out of my pain. And so I'll give you 2 that, just 2. I'm not going to give all of them, but 2. I wanted someone to believe in me, to affirm me, and I wanted someone to listen to me. So I have, since about 22 years of age, that's what I've been trying to do for people, and hopefully I'm getting better at it. I want to listen. I want to affirm. I want to call out. And then if I go to 2 Corinthians 1, the comfort that I've received from God, because our witness is often something outside of ourselves. And it's not that it's not true. It's just not my incarnation. It's not what's happened to me. And so from my heart, I want to listen to you. I want to affirm you, call the Jesus out of you. And then I want to give you the comfort my Father gave me. And what my Father gave me is he accepted me. And I still don't get that. It still blows me away that God would accept me. Well, if I just do those 3 things, and I have 5 and a couple other things, and I go out and live that, I'll change the world around me. If there's enough of us doing it, 1 puts 1,000 to flight, 2, 10,000. If we start to do that and we incarnate, and not live oppositionally, the light of God's presence will manifest on people. There'll be conviction. There might be resistance. And it's not that there isn't opposition and darkness and light won't clash. I'm just not trying to be oppositional. The light, the cross will. So if that offends people, Jesus, I get it. I'll weep, much like Paul in Philippians 3, where he weeps over those who are teaching a false gospel or bending the gospel in a way that they ought not, creating a work that's unnecessary. He weeps of their destruction and their end and the struggle and the problem they're causing the church at Philippi. So may you and I live not an oppositional life, an incarnational life. May we manifest what our hearts long for, do unto others as you want them to do to you. And then turn around, as you recognize what that is, turn around and do that to people. Let God heal your heart as you do it. Let God empower you. Let God live through you. And then the comfort you've received from God, and live that. Because what it does for me is it causes me to be grateful every single day when I give this to people. Accept them. And I'm not accepting their sin. I'm not accepting their ideology necessarily. I'm just seeing the beauty that might be in them. Even a non-believer who's cracked and broken, the possibility and the potential that lies in them, if they would allow Christ to reform them, heal them, and they could become born again, anew in him. May you and I live incarnationally, not oppositionally. May we continue to rise up to the fullness that God has for us, and may the Lord bless your day